If you do not understand how something works, or why it doesn't work for that matter, I think the natural rule is to ask questions. So, let's get into the book. First, I highly recommend this book to anyone who wants to buy a house off plan. So if that is you, take my word for it. If you want to buy this book before you get into that transaction, if you want to purchase a house off plan in Kenya, and the operative words here are purchase a house off plan in Kenya, then before you go to the market, do yourself a favor, buy this book and read it. The author of the book has written the book with a slant towards issues around construction, and I believe that there are very many areas that he could have covered more extensively. It may have its limitations, but it also has a lot of comprehensive information that would be beneficial, a lot of information I feel that is not necessarily in the hands or within the realm of knowledge of many people who actually get into these decisions. So please note, for anyone out there thinking that I may be this author's personal marketer, I am not, and I'm not angling for the position either. And this podcast isn't about that. We're not in the business of promotion. That I would happily make the distinction and still break the rule about not necessarily promoting books or any other material. I've gone ahead and broken that rule with this book. Should tell you where I stand on this matter. This book will empower you, a prospective home buyer in an off-plan housing scheme, to navigate that decision you intend to take before you take it. That, in my view, is worth the recommendation, and also just given the backdrop of the industry today. And it's the only reason that I do it. So I will have you know that much. I want you to avoid the pain and misery of becoming another statistic in that growing list of Kenyan home buyers who risked it all on what seemed to be a good deal, but then got shortchanged and then, went on to lose a fortune. The book won't stop that from happening, obviously. You have to follow the advice it offers. And even then, you would still get fleeced. That's the truth. But here's the thing, at least you'll minimize the risk of that happening. You will better understand the risks. You will be better off before you made the decision to proceed. And if you follow the recommendations the book makes, I believe you're also more likely to eliminate the risks associated with such ventures. One of the boldest things I think Okowa has done with this publication is to acquit the inertia of home buyers who failed to take the preemptive measures to protect their investments. Those who happily got sucked into the marketing hype and simply refused to pay attention to the pitfalls, sometimes staring them right in the face. I just honestly feel that this book covers the subject that the author chose in perhaps the most insightful way, and I haven't found an equivalent resource, and he offers a perspective that you are unlikely to find with many other industry professionals. I'll also say, this book isn't for everyone. I feel like if I had invested in an off-plan home purchase and then it tanked, I got conned, reading this book would haunt me, to give me sleepless nights, because in all truth, in the marketplace, I see very many quote-unquote investors who've made bad choices and progressively continue to make bad choices because they are too lazy to inform themselves and willing to ask the developers the hard questions or the property sellers the hard questions, and basically carry on investments with a very casual approach. No due diligence, no clarity in developing an understanding of the consequences of their decisions, an infatuation with the pomp and hype without any clear analysis, and unwillingness to consider risk, and generally a very laissez-faire or lackadaisical approach to investments. But if we were brutally honest, and I think Okowa makes this point a repeated theme of this book, investors, quote/home buyers, are often left carrying the baby because they just won't do the work to inform themselves about the decisions they make. Truthfully, I would probably hate the author for making me rule my choice without informing myself comprehensively. It's a natural feeling to hate the messenger when the message is uncomfortable, but it's also the lazy thing to do. The harder thing is to introspect and ask yourself whether the failure was merely based on your encounter with an unscrupulous developer or whether you actively participated in the failure based on your own misinformed expectations and a dim view of the marketplace. So, let's do a blow-by-blow account of the book. The book is about 106 pages long in an A5 page print format. It's organized into 9 chapters. The style of writing, I would say, is casual and simple, almost as if the author is attempting to speak to you directly. In the introduction, Okowa makes a strong case for the adoption and strengthening of the off-plan housing model, touting it as the best suited option to meet the housing needs of our market, notably because it provides several flexibilities for home buyers.